To start off with making the skirt, I had to stitch all the panels together, and it was my no waste pattern curtain, and making sure to keep it lined up with the edge to the 1 centimeter seam allowance that it needed to be. Once I've done that, I was going to press over the seams and press the top of the waistband, because I wasn't adding a waistband or anything. I was just folding it over and stitching it to get rid of the raw edges, and I pinned it, and then I did iron it, but did not show you. And I thought this was a very important step to hide all the raw edges and to ensure it would fit properly. Then after I'd sewn that, I folded it so the face fabrics were, the face was facing each other, and then I would stitch it down the side to make the skirt complete. This is me sewing the hem, and it was just like the same. I pressed it, and then this was a zip. I pinned it all into place with the zip facing downwards onto it, making sure as I was pinning, I was making sure the middle was lined up with the middle of my seam, my back seam that I sewed just now. I did do the zip on the first try. It's a shorter zip, so it was easier, but it was also quite hard because zips are generally hard, and I did not leave enough seam allowance on that side, so it was a little bit more difficult, and I had to make sure I was stitching close. But with my toile, I stitched too close that it wouldn't open. So with this one, I had to ensure that I didn't stitch too close, and I did pin the wrong way, which is a big health and safety rule, because of you could get your fingers stuck under and sew over your fingers because they were put on the wrong way. Also, when I'm using the iron, I have to make sure that I am not having my fingers near, and I am not putting the iron too hot, because else I will have the hazard of burning my fingers or setting fire to something. So that's something I had to be aware of when I was ironing, and because the zip is quite fiddly, I had to make sure I didn't stitch over my finger or anything, and here I stitched too close to the zip and it wouldn't undo. So I was just unpicking that, and then I restitched it, and then the last step is just to unpick the back and open the seam, so then the zip will work. Just like that, and taking out all the bits so it doesn't get caught on anything, and I think it was a success. So making the things for on top of my skirt, basically I was using the freehand embroidery most of the time, and this you have to be so careful with because of it's very not controlled, so I have to keep my fingers away, and I decided to write danger on it because of it helped to signal my message. And one thing was my bobbin ran out, so I had to change that, and make sure to turn off your machine when you're doing it so you don't accidentally press the foot and the needle goes down.